Hello and welcome to the PetXI Virtual Mentor short video on the impact of sales on cash flow, profit and loss, and the break-even point. Remember, this video helps you to learn and understand what you'll need to complete the portfolio, so it's very important that you pay attention. There will be a short test at the end to make sure you have watched the video and a small piece of homework for you to complete ready for the PetXI team's return to your school. You will need to make notes. You can of course pause or rewind the video whilst making notes. I would pause it after every couple of points and make the notes you need to help you later on. In order to achieve a distinction, which is the best grade you can get on this part, you need to discuss comprehensively the impact of both an increase and decrease in sales on all three elements, not just one. So let's have a look at what an increase or decrease in sales means. In the simplest terms, it means exactly what it says on the tin. An increase in sales means that sales go up. A decrease in sales means that sales will go down. Now, we are always heading for a distinction where possible, so let's look at each element and the effect an increase or decrease would have. Let's start on cash flow. You presume that an increase in sales is always a good thing. However, the impact this can have on cash flow can be negative for the business. For example, if the increase is significant, how does the business pay for the cost of producing the stock or increases in paying the staff? Most businesses don't see the money until after they have paid out the expenses. This could mean that they run out of cash flow and then end up closing the doors, or because they expanded too quickly. Obviously, if the business goes the other way and the sales decrease, this causes a huge problem for the cash flow as the fixed costs stay the same, meaning they eat the cash flow, leaving the business again with no cash. In terms of cash flow then, both an increase and decrease can be a problem. Decrease always is, increase can be if it's not controlled properly. In terms of profit and loss, increasing sales is a good thing. A company can produce a great profit and loss account even if they run out of cash flow. If you imagine that the company will always end up getting paid for their work on time and cash flow is not an issue, increased sales will provide the company with bigger revenue and bigger profits. Alternatively, if sales decrease, the net profit, which is calculated on the profit and loss, will decrease with it until the company reaches the point that it can no longer make a profit and becomes loss-making. At this point, the company may have to close unless they have the cash in reserve to cover the losses short term. Finally, an increase in sales will affect the break-even point for the whole company, as it will be producing more money whilst the fixed costs stay the same. The break-even point will essentially become lower on the graph. They don't affect the break-even point on an individual product though, as the cost of this product stays the same much of the time, unless it is such an increase that larger bulk buy-in can be considered. If the sales decrease, the company will not reach its break-even point, which will result in a loss. This will accumulate debt over time, which will eventually cause the company to go out of business. For your portfolio, you should try and discuss the following in terms of increasing sales. Cash flow, good for cash flow unless the increase is not controlled. Then it can be negative for the business. Profit and loss, always a good thing. More money, more profit. Break even, this is also a good thing. It can reduce the break-even point for the company and therefore increase the profits, particularly manufacturing where bigger stock orders reduce unit price. Decreasing sales. The effect of decrease in sales on cash flow can be a disaster. The company can run out of cash very quickly. The effect of decrease in sales on profit and loss will decrease the profit and will mean the company will fall into debt. The effect of decrease in sales on the break-even point will mean that the company may not hit their break-even point and will be therefore losing money. Do this and you will get a distinction. Thank you for taking the time to watch this PetXI virtual mentor video on the impact of increasing or decreasing sales. Good luck with your project.